Well, good morning guys, welcome back to the farm, and today you join me here in the biomass store and we're going to load up the biomass. It's a lovely sunny morning today, which makes a change because it's been so wet and miserable over these last few weeks, and hopefully just this morning you can see the sun which has just come up there. So yeah, it's a really lovely morning today. And this, as you might have known from previous videos, is the biomass store, and this is where all of the chip is stored on the farm, and then it's also as well burned in the boiler behind the wall there. So this is the hopper here, which is pretty low today, so that's what we're going to be filling up. And just next door to it there is the wood chip, and that's the wood chip which we store to burn in the boiler. So there's not a huge amount of chip actually left in the boiler at the moment, and there's not a lot left in the store either, which is quite concerning because we're only really just about to go into winter. At the moment we've got a pine chip in here, so it's going to burn pretty quick, this sort of stuff. We go through pine chip really, like I say, really quickly. It's approximately 21%, 20%. Some of it is a bit lower. I've measured it at about 19, but generally it's around the 20% mark, which is generally okay because you need it under about 22% to be able to burn it. So we've been able to get away with it this year with the moisture being a bit higher. But just in this hopper room, we normally have quite a bit more in the store. Like normally at this time of the year we'd have chip up to here, for example, whereas we've really burned through it over this last year, and you really have gone through it because it's a pine chip, so it's a softwood. Whereas when you have like a hardwood chip, you really do notice the difference, because if it was a hardwood chip we'd have way more chip in the store at the moment. But that's just the way it's gone. We've got some more wood sourced for the start of next year, and that will have to be chipped and then tipped up in here so that we have enough to take us through next year, and then hopefully towards sort of the end of summer, autumn, so that we can get some more chip throughout the year. So there's always this need on the farm to be able to source wood and just keep ourselves replenished all the time with enough wood to keep the house going and to keep all of the farmyard going as well. So it's a really important aspect of this biomass system, is just having enough chip. Okay, so I've got to open this end bay here so that I can get in with the JCB to load the chip, and then the second door unfortunately is chained, so we've got to have a bit of fun with this one. This is the farm's little X750 John Deere lawnmower. It's a diesel one, and we bought it I think last year. She's a diesel, and I believe she's got a Yanmar engine, which is a really good, reliable Japanese engine. So well done to John Deere for using that one. They do just make like the best small diesel engines in the world. So I better start the little X750. She's quite a good little lawnmower, and we've always had John Deere lawnmowers on the farm. Just let her warm up. Okay, so I've just got the JCB out here, as you can see, and I'm just going to use the bucket to fill up the hopper this morning. So I'm just going to shut this door. Okay, so you now join me in the JCB. As you can see on the windscreen, I've still got the Ram Mounts grip on there, which I had a couple of weeks ago sent to me by Ram Mounts, and so far it's been really good. I haven't got my phone in it today, but like I say, normally you can just put your phone in there and it's sorted. You don't have to worry. You can just literally leave your phone there all day. So as you can see on the right hand side, that's where we put the bales in with the crammer. Some of the bales on the outside have been getting a bit wet recently, but I think as we work through the bales, the bales won't be affected by the rain as we start to move in through the shed there. I've had to clean the bucket off a bit this morning because, as a lot of you will know, we've been using it for muck recently, and it was so covered in muck this morning. But after I just washed it off with a hose pipe, it wasn't too bad, and hence why I'm able to use it now. You have to be quite careful as well with contaminating the wood chip with muck, because then you can trip off the boiler and things like that. So you have to make sure that what you're loading is clean. So the excavator's across the road at the moment, and the digger driver is going to turn up tomorrow for the outdoor arena school there, and he'll start digging it all out tomorrow morning, which will be really exciting to see that project sort of started. Oh. And the cattle are all down at the marshes at the moment, as I'm sure a lot of you guys will know, and they're due to come back, I believe, towards the end of October. We actually, last year, if you look at last year's video, we actually brought them back, I believe it was on the 26th or 27th. So if you go and check that old video, I think it was called Bringing in the Cattle with the Deer or something like that. And we normally always generally bring the cattle in towards the end of October, November times. It is getting quite wet down there now at the marsh, and the grass, of course, towards this time of the year stops growing or slows down in its growth, and that's why they're going to have to come home, and why they come home every year at the end of October. And one problem as well this year is that we haven't got enough food on the farm at the moment to sustain them over a long winter, so we might have to buy in a bit of food towards the end of winter. We're not entirely sure at the moment. Sometimes you just have to take it as it comes and just ration out the food very carefully. I think it's really the horses which are going to be short on hay, so we'll go out and get a few trailer loads of hay, or get some hay delivered. And for muck spreading in February, I normally always use a muck spreading hire dealership, I suppose you could call them. They're an agricultural dealership, and they have one muck spreader, which is a small 10 to 12 ton muck spreader, and you would have seen it in the videos. But this time around I'm thinking of using a company called AH, who will actually deliver the muck spreader to the farm, and I'm looking at an 18 ton model at the moment, hiring that for a day. And I think they'll deliver it off, drop it off in the morning, and I think they either pick it up in the evening or the next following morning or something with these Mercedes Unimogs. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of hiring an 18 ton spreader. We'll put it on the 6.9, and I'm pretty sure she'll be able to pull it, and that should be no problem. Might have to get a front weight, that's the only thing, if I'm pulling an 18 ton around with muck. But I think the problem with the little 10 ton one I use, or the 12 ton one, is I'm often so rushed and pressurised to get the spreader filled up quickly, and because I've only got it for the day, I've got to literally get all of the muck spread with that with the smaller 10 ton spreader. So by hiring an 18 tonner, I'm hoping that I'll be able to get the muck spread relatively quickly, and I won't be so pressurised to sort of get it done, if that makes sense, because often with the 10 ton it's like flat out non-stop, and sometimes that little 10 ton one does break down now and then, the shear bolts go on it. It's getting quite old, and I think AH muck spreaders, they keep their spreaders pretty well up to date, because I think they actually make them as well. They manufacture the spreaders they hire out, which is pretty cool. I think another bucketful on top of that and we should be good, actually. This JCB needs a really good clean off. I did chuck the hose over it the other day after mucking out, but it wants a really good pressure wash, actually. Okay, so there we go, that's the hopper filled up. Hopefully you can see it filled up there, just on the left hand side. So that should last hopefully for a few months now, maybe a month to 2 months. And then just the chip in here, I'm going to have to use this up the next time I fill up the boiler. I just scraped it up a bit here with the JCB. You can actually see there were some leaves in there from when we last chipped up some trees, and Lord knows how they got through the chipper. But anyway, as long as they dry out a bit, they'll probably still burn anyway. So it's generally anything like muck. If that gets in the boiler, then it can cause problems. Stones as well are a big problem, because stones can get trapped in the auger, which sucks in the chip underneath. Hello, Toby. Clover always loves playing in the wood chip. Oh, you're like a jack in the box today, Clover. She's like that most days, to be fair. So yeah, it wasn't totally clean this morning, but I managed to just give it a bit of a swill out. So make sure I'll try and do that either today or tomorrow. Yeah, let me know in the comments below, the AH muck spreader, let me know what you think of that, the yellow 18 tonner, because I think it would be such a good idea hiring that over a smaller 10-ton spreader. So yeah, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video as well, please do give it a thumbs up, it would be much appreciated. Stay tuned for plenty more content. Tomorrow it's going to be the new digger video, and the digger will get going and start building the arena, which will be really exciting. So thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.